What's up, guys? It's Mr. Jamvin, and today we are back on the Pokemon Showdown server. And today we're going to be doing an OLT thing. I think the timing is nice. Just found out about it. Not just, but you get the idea. I think it started yesterday, or maybe today, something like that. But coming off my 3 day not uploading, especially because I broke my promise yesterday. I said yesterday was I would come back, and now it's today. So figured let's this solves a bit of two problems I was having. I wanted to just wanted a little more fun in my teams, as far as like being in the mid 1700s, or before we get to the 18 1900s. I wanted the teams to be a bit more fun. I was running out of those. You guys have done an amazing job at sending them, but they're like still a little too serious. I wanted a bit more, flair to them without being a gimmick, right? And I know that's hard to come by, which is why I usually would modify the teams myself. But because I'm just coming back, I don't know the metagame well enough to modify. So I'm just playing these lives to get an adjustment. So I was like, what? OT solves that, and we're going to be using this pretty hyper offensive team. I played a few, so we're not at the complete bottom of the ladder. I already have an L under my belt to a mono electric team. Yes, lucky game hacks, blah 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 blah. However, I'm sure there were things I could have done to prevent it, even with the luck. So I gotta be more mindful because I played that game pretty reckless. I'm gonna hurry up and beat this guy. And he got a bunch of stuff go his way, and I'm looking back like, if I just accounted for that instead of being arrogant and thinking, oh well, you're the bottom of the ladder. I don't need to think about this, which I always advise against. But that just shows how human I am, and I still have my lessons. I'm not above the progress, not above the progress. Definitely not above the progress, but I'm most certainly not above the process either. So we're gonna formulate an objective game plan, objective strategy tactic thing. I'm gonna teach you guys what that is, the new programs that are coming out, and the book. So stay tuned. Maybe in a video before that, but let's get into it. Hazard control has to be Lando if he has one. I want these to be fairly quick. Uh, Required public. Okay, I just noticed that. He's very weak to Coco. Insanely weak to Scolopy, especially. I have to be mindful of Sucker Punch, but what can he guard against? Doesn't guard well against Ghosts, so Hazards plus Ghost is an issue. Doesn't guard well against Rillaboom. It's grass move. I don't have Wood Hammer, but Hazards plus grass moves to AK everything on his team. Doesn't guard well against decently against Coco. Predator and Scolipede, not really. Blaziken, not really. Scarm Hazard. So who am I going to try to endgame this with? I think either Pult or Blaze requires a bit of setup. Maybe Pult or Rillaboom. We'll see. Even that doesn't feel. I don't feel confident in that. I don't know if maybe Pult. I'll just use everybody else to support the end game of Pult. So phase one's going to require hazards. As I said, I don't know what his hazard control is, and unfortunately, this Mienshao likely, depending on what it is, fake out. That's actually good because now he can't bring me into hazard range. I mean, he can't bring me into. This probably has flamethrower. And that matters because I die and I'd only get hazards, after which I won't have anything to one-shot him. So I guess I could leverage Polton now rather than saving it for later because flamethrower is coming out. That looks offensive, 20%. And as I'm looking at this, I have a couple options. I could just hard Shadow Ball. My issue is that I'm not confident it'll 2-hit KO and I need it to. Alternatively, I could U-turn knowing he'll go for Future Sight. The question is who I'm going to position versus him. And I'm thinking Rillaboom, but if I position Rillaboom my knockoff and he ouster Mienshao, now I'll just go for the 2-hit KO. If I don't get it, I don't go. Whoa, don't get it. Anybody expected me to be frozen there? Actually, I didn't realize he was Black Sludge. I just noticed the Black Sludge. Now, my Blaziken does want his item. I do want it. My issue is just how am I gonna hazard control? Maybe he doesn't have hazard control because the Lando could be his rocker, but it's his low ladder, so you got to take those things with grains of salt. The Bisharp being gone, he's definitely knocking off. It's just I'm debating whether or not it's worth. Yeah, I'll just Skarmory. I'm faster. He actually suckers. Didn't expect sucker. Um, if he swords dances once, I can taunt next time because he should knock. Yeah. Knock won't bring me to success tap. Again, if he swords dances one, I'll taunt, then kill him with Coco or Blaziken. So that won't really be an issue. Yeah, and that gives me all layers. Now, I my only qualm obviously is that it allows in the potential Landorus to just defog. But if he does that, I'm gonna punish him heavily. Because I can't go Coco now. Because if he goes hard Lando, then I'm done. So I'm forced to Blaziken. But I'm gonna blitz hard. Oh, he actually doesn't even. So okay, that it's not amazing. That's again if the Lando is defog. So I'll do his Swords Dance here. Mm, yeah, it's better to Swords Dance if he does defog. If he's not defog, and just Earthquakes or Stealth Rocks, then I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't defog here if you had it. So that would imply that he does not. Implications. I'm taking things to imply in low ladder, but it would imply he does not have it, which would allow for me to come in and just Draco kill him. Well, actually, not necessarily, but I don't. I'm gonna say I don't need Pult to be. I mean, at this point, oh yes, he went Pex. This won't kill. I don't think. Skull kill me. It doesn't kill. I actually thought Skull might not kill either because Pex is so weak. This allows for what the fuck, bro? What's up with these goons, man? Now, Pex being gone is helpful, assuming he gives me a ear. We go Slow King. Um, it just complicates things a bit less, as now all I need is I was gonna say all I need is the damage on the landers, but he just goes straight to it. Based on Shadow Ball damage, there's no way he Scarf. I don't see an item. And that's gonna obviously lead to a Scolipede decimation in the end of the game. Rillaboom here always makes sense because if he's choice fucking crit. If he's choiced Grass is obviously the move he has to go for. If not, any Swords Dances. And then I can just go Scolipede and kill him, or Terrain Change and kill him. Um, whichever one I so chose. So I U-turned, right? Yeah. And so now the Pult eats his lunch. It could go. I probably should have went Coco. I guess it doesn't really matter. Based on what he took from the Shadow Ball and the hazards are coming in, it's just gonna eat his lunch, as I said. So that could have gone, and that's the thing, right? The reason lower ladder is still dangerous, you want to be mindful, is because one, there's so many. Oh shit, White Queen Blunder. Well, Blunder, I know is not watching this, but Blunder, not a fan of this guy. old stories, but this guy used to be a decent player back in the day. Managed to win an OST. So I don't know shit about this guy. I don't know what he thinks and blah blah blah. So we're just gonna. But he used to always use weird shit. So I'm expecting some weird shit. But I've again, because I'm not caught up with the metagame and stuff, I don't know if he's knowledgeable and that knowledge will cause him to make solid plays or not. Interestingly, if I had a Poison Jab Scolipede, it'd be good here. But also the Mew would destroy me. So I'm thinking here I'd have to overwhelm with Pult or Blaziken in the early. Yeah, Blaziken is insanely overwhelming, depending on if it's on a Werecliff or not. So I'd assume he tried to shut down my Skarm overwhelmment with a Zeraora start. Start there or I go for knockoff, then Plasma Fist after that. Fair enough, which he does. So the fact that I could guess that's what he was going to do does imply that perhaps he still like competent. So there's a knockoff into Plasma Fist here. I'll Rillaboom because Rillaboom isn't necessary to win. I could have Volt Switch too, but he bulks up. Um, the Zero is actually an issue if he were to stand for some reason, or he has something that I'm not aware of. Um, I'm gonna U-turn though. He knocks. Because Knock could have been dangerous there if I would hammered. He would have just lost his Zero, which is a really important mon for him. So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's certain things he's doing now that, like, if I grassy glided there, I'll 2-hit KO him easily. So you'd have to get grassy glide knocked off, and then I'd grassy glide kill him here because the bulk up would obviously be negated. Him knocking off there does make a big difference in giving me a hard time, obviously. So I'm thinking Coco is super important. Um, so if I go Scolipede, Plasma Fist. Scolipede is low key a win con, but I have to. The Zero is a huge issue. Oh wow, that one shot. I'm getting destroyed by the Zero. Again, I knew it was going to be an issue for me, which is why I didn't expect him to leave it in versus my Rillaboom. Because leaving it in means it gets 2 killed. You take a lot of value, lose a lot of value, which prevents you from guarding against my Coco later on. But that could be a thing that I just wasn't thinking. See how much that did. So you can imagine how much that would have done with a. Um, you can imagine how much that would have done um, with a choice band if Grassy Glide had 50%. So I don't agree with the Zero play, but it worked out. And it gave me a lot of problems. And that's the thing with the things like this. You gotta sort of adapt to. Okay, is my opponent in a mental state where he's aware of certain things? Am I just playing in a sort of he'll figure it out as he go kind of way? That's a big para there. But he's bulky quiver, which implies. I mean, he might have psychic. He might have psychic. The U-turn there was. I wasn't gonna. You don't want to use the word unnecessary, but um, risky. No, it was not necessary. I could hard switch. The reason I'm saying this is because like I don't think he has psychic. I can't go Pult obviously. He doesn't know anything about my Pult, so my Pult could be physical as well. So now obviously he has to stand on the Blaziken. Based on how much he took from Thunderbolt, he's definitely bulky quiver, so he's gonna leave this in. He might have psychic then. He only has fiery dance. So what? Again, again, this reminds me so much of back in the day. Uh, so had I just played this game in a very straightforward manner, um, like let's say this was a random um, person on the ladder, I obviously wouldn't have. I would have just grassy glided. I would have. I would have just played this very obviously. Um, but there are a lot of things here that I'm like, well, if I just do the, and I say this in a standpoint of he has a pretty solid chance to beat my team if he just plays straightforwardly. So save the Zero aura, all those things. It'd be very hard for me to win. It's not impossible, but he has the tools to guard against a lot of my team. And I have to play more on the aggressive end to stop his rampage. Um, so right there, example, if I Swords Dance and you get full parried, if that's not unaware Clef, the game might have just been over from that. So obviously he knows I have Blitz. Um, um, I really don't know what to expect here from the Mew. I could hard switch to Dragapult. I could Flare Blitz, which should do enough. I could Swords Dance. If I Shadow Ball, I don't want to waste the Blaziken because say it has Cosmic Power, which means if I Swords Dance there, well, This should do still a weakness policy. But why would you set up again if you see what I mean? Like I am so confused, guys. I am so confused because you don't get a speed boost. So what I'm thinking happened here was maybe he hasn't played in a while. Because again, I don't think he's like some um, just um, hopeless player or anything like that. Because I'm gonna shadow ball again here. He's gonna swords dance. I need to make sure I'm in. He's into it. He actually knocks. Surprised he knocked there. The reason I'm surprised he knocked because now Coco can come in and kill you. Whereas before, if you swords dance, you almost win the game guarantee there. Um, so him sucker punching here would do me in, but I think he's gonna just Iron Head. Just based on how he's playing, I think he'd predict me to roost and Iron Head. Yeah. So I have a little bit of hope, not really, but there's something there. As he's just the normal clef. Um, Let me think. If I Thunderbolt here, nah, just I don't know what to expect. So he expects me to Thunderbolt. So this, yeah. So I lose the game most likely, but I actually could have won this, which is super funny to me. It's super funny to me. So he saves the clef, which is wise. Ancient power. Oh no. Oh no. This guy is going for scum strats. And if it's ancient power, it's probably faster than my Blaziken. I mean, not necessarily because he had cosmic power or Mew, but um. So yeah, I lost this game fair and square. I could have gone about this very differently. I've come to realize, but you live, you learn. I have to just play these very straightforwardly. It seems. The ancient power obviously now is gonna knock me out. He knocked my item off. Um, and the Skarm is didn't get the boost. So let's see if he's faster than me. He's probably timid. I'd be shocked if he's not. Yeah. So I just lose to the Jirachi. Now I guess I could crit, but I mean, even if I could, I actually wouldn't want the crit. This is a fair and square loss. Um, yeah, very interesting. But I do remember him having interest. So in a game like that, the Scolipede died early for no reason because of my Rillaboom U turning, and I didn't expect Plasma Fist to one shot Scolipede. Scolipede actually has decent defense, but I guess because of his poor HP stat, or maybe he was adamant Zeraora as well. Which, if that was the case, then he obviously gets outsped by Dragapult, but you can't really know whether they're adamant or Jolly. Um, but as you saw, 50% off non-banded Grassy Glide after a bulk up means Grassy Glide would have destroyed his Zeraora. And he was Fiery Dance, meaning maybe he didn't have Psychic. I know he definitely didn't have Psychic, or he didn't use down Blaziken. But he set up. I don't know. I don't know. It's one of those games where it's hard to say what the guy's plan was. Maybe he didn't have a plan. It was just like. But usually when I'm playing players, I expect to be competent. I expect there to be some kind of rationale behind the decision. And so I'm really trying to figure out what was happening in that battle. Um, but if you guys know any insights, maybe there's some metagame knowledge that I'm missing, and it's like, oh yeah, Jam, stored power, Jirachi and stuff is common, and it's just a strat, and you do this to this. Enlighten me for sure. But in this one, we're gonna overwhelm with Shadow Ball. I can't guard against Ghost. Um, um, This can go so many ways because it's rain, it's Barrascuda. I need three speed boosts on my Scolipede to really wreak havoc. Plus, is Urshifu. I'd need a lot of hazards to kill that with Earthquake. So I think it's easier to just overwhelm with the Coco. I can't weather control. Coco hazard Coco plus Dragapult is it, and then obviously the Rillaboom in the end game. Excuse me. So I'd assume the opponent, if it, let's assume it's scarfed, I mean banded, or Shifu. Well, actually no. Let's just Leviathan in the game. Shadow Ball cannot be guarded against. I'll just Shadow Ball hard, even if he went Ferrothorn. Heligo comes in. It's actually a very dangerous Pokemon. It took nothing from that though, so I'm thinking this might not be Meteor Beam. I mean, it took nothing from that, but I mean, it's Nihilego, and I think it has pretty solid HP. So I don't want to get Meteor Beamed, obviously. So we're going to. So it is bulky. It seems. Um, please don't get. Just break through Skarm. I need these spikes. I really need a spike. That makes a big difference versus his Ferrothorn and his Urshifu. Big difference. Mm-mm-mm. You know, it's a big difference, man. I don't say that lightly, guys. Like, that's a big piece of luck right there. Man, I man, that changed a lot. Changed a lot just now. Mm. He leaves it in, as he should, because if you risk Ferrothorn there and a superpower, he loses immediately. So you never go Ferrothorn there. Especially that could have been Swords Dance. The issue with going Ferrothorn is it invites in things you can't guard against. So it invites in my Blaziken, obviously, and then that forces a CC. So I wouldn't be shocked if he doubled. I'm not staying in though. It's always Blaziken here. He knocks. So this allows me to CC, as I mentioned, hard. Nothing on his team is just switching in on CC. Nothing that matters. I could Thunder Punch his Pelipper, but he actually leaves the Ferrothorn in. I'm not sure why. But again, this is ladder. So he overextends there, which means now my Coco is freed up. You can't guard against Ghost. So I'm pretty confident he's gonna just leave this in, unless he's gonna give me the rain, and if he gives me the up. So yeah, Rillaboom just eats Rillaboom, Coco, all of them. And then you don't have any rain, so you have to go Pelipper. Yeah, and then I just kill you or bring you to the range where you die to hazards. Um, yeah, but I'm still thinking about that last game. I'm like, man, what the hell was going on there? And Gyro Pole is important to keep at the utmost because I'll just sack the Predator here. Because the Thunder, well, actually, I just win with Rillaboom now. It doesn't even matter because I was gonna say, it is one of the few things that resist all of Thunder's moves. Well, how is he ever gonna nasty block? Because Weather Ball and stuff. So Rillaboom just comes in, um, and just does what it does. But I'm actually very excited for this OLT run because I expect to lose a lot. I expect to have a lot of struggles, not in like I expect to have a lot of Greensboro. What? She must be. Very interesting. I don't know. See, that'll be younger. Sorry, I was just oh shit. Let me see in case there's some random shit. Let me go with Dragon Ball in case there's some random shit that I'm not aware of. So there's the nasty plot. I'm gonna Shadow Ball instead of Shadow Ball should do at least 70 or something, which brings it to Grassy Glide range. I don't even die to Thunder, but I mean just like I didn't know if there was any random shit that's about to happen to me like Sludge Wave or something. And with the rain turns not quite done, you know, the Barraskewda could actually become a problem. So it's better to go hard pulp. So we'll grab one more. The Iciest Pimp. The Iciest Pimp. Halucha Spam could be dangerous after terrain control, since I have both grass and electric. My Dragapult obviously annihilates. Actually, might want to be careful around this particular team. Meaning, I might want to just keep my Skarm for defensive reasons. He doesn't have a hazard. He doesn't have a hazard like that Haxorus. If like say I have to glide something and the Haxorus comes in and gets a free Dragon Dance, I'm in trouble. And if it's not outrage, right? So I'm gonna be very careful of that. So I'm gonna overwhelm. We can't guard against Dragapult, obviously. So his screens won't matter when it comes to shot. Actually, I don't have Infiltrate. I have Clear Body. It's a lie. He has two potential screeners. This one has a doozy. Okay, let's overwhelm with that Grass Beast. Drago is obviously irrelevant because of my Coco. I'd love to U-turn here. I'd love to U-turn, but this is way too motherfucking important. If he's plus attacking, whatever the attack nature variant is, then he's plus attack, whatever the plus attack in it is. But as I said, I learned from the last game, this lower ladder, I'm just gonna play it as straightforwardly as possible. I'm not gonna expect too much. And the thing about it is, when you weigh risk versus reward, I'm doing this all very rapidly in my head. I realized I didn't really give you guys the rundown of my game plan. But even if he were to have doubled I love that kind of, oh, you would have gotten destroyed had you not switched animation there. I almost went to Pope. I was gonna say he's leftovers. Okay, so one terrain control gone says Halucha is under my control. Now my Coco is very well, he has to go to Halucha on my Coco to get any value out of it. So there's the mold breaking beast that I said I was concerned about earlier. So what I'm gonna do, I could go hard Skarm, Brave Bird. Because how would he bring me low? He'd have to CC, Brave Bird would take him. Yeah, actually, I'm going to go hard Skarm here. Because he Dragon Dances. The only way he's taking me low is to close combat. If he outrages, and then close combat should bring him in range of Grassy Glide, maybe? That's a maybe. I don't like that. I mean, what else would he? Close combat. Or I'll go actually hard Scolipede here. Crunch. Interesting. Okay, then I'm not concerned about that. Because that won't kill me. Especially because you're not Life Orb. So I'll Brave Bird here and then actually Hazard, then Grassy Glide. Rocks. Yeah, Rocks neutrally. It's everything else. I don't know why I thought. Had to think about that, like Spike. So Crunch non-boosted. Skarm still has 317 defense. Yeah, even my Custap. Oh, right. Recoil. But that's okay, because the bigger issue was this. And so as far as as long as now his Lecky is an issue. The good thing is that it can't come in on anything that I have in right now. So obviously Haxorus is gonna die here, and everything that matters offensively in the fact that Drago and Halucha loses to Glide. So what I think he's gonna end up doing is going into the Drago and then doubling out into the Lecky. And if he goes Drago, man, I might have to just sack Blaze. Let me think. If I sack Go Blaziken and he actually leaves it in and goes to the Dragon Energy, then I have to. He might be Scarf. I might not go Dragapult. Actually, Dragapult doesn't even make sense because it invites in. This game's far from over. His Lecky's an issue. I'm gonna have to play not aggressively. That's not the right word. My Rillaboom's gonna have to take a ton of damage from his Lecky, so my Rillaboom won't be at full. You'll see why in a minute. Because the sequence is gonna go Drago double the Lecky, Lecky's gonna have the electric terrain. Oh, he actually goes Halucha. That's insane. So I'm actually he's gonna be a free switch in the Pope. Yeah, because you can only acrobatics, and this allows for me to shadow ball on the off chance you want to go to your Azu. Um, I didn't go Coco hard. Mm, yeah, I think going not going Coco. Coco obviously would activate his seed. I didn't go Coco hard because under random chance he swords dance there, I'd activate his seed. And if he had like a Stone Edge crit or a acrobatics crit would probably kill me. Or Poison Jet. Like if just you wouldn't want to give that opening for no reason. So he willingly gave me an extra mod, which is a big deal because now Lucky nothing can kill me except the Azu. Um, and now he super can't guard against Rillaboom. So what I want is probably him to go Drago for some random reason. If he goes Lucky, I'm just thinking what I want to have in the end game because Lucky will kill my Pult from here if it's Specs. Then what? Then I'd go to Rillaboom and U-turn. Even if he were to lock himself into, because at this point, Coco beats the last two, so I just need Lucky Gun. Will be if he goes Lucky kills me with Thunderbolt, and I go Rillaboom Grassy Glide, I'm a Mon down. I Grassy Glide, I don't twit KO Drago, then he doubles to Lucky on my He doubles to Lecky on my Coco. I have to go Rillaboom on that Specs Thunderbolt. I'll take a million. Potentially get crit or parried. Yeah, I'm not going that route. I'm actually just gonna stay in with the Dragapult and die. Um, I'll go Ling here, U-turn. I could knock off, but the knocking off doesn't really serve me because the my concern is the Drago. And I'd rather have positioning versus the Drago than I'd rather have positioning versus the Draco than to have an item knocked off. So even if he leaves the Lecky in, yeah. Um, Very surprised he left it in because again Coco wins. So he did 66, which means he spent. There's no way I died to Specs. So I'm thinking, because I need to get a kill. Well, yeah, Coco should never die here. I just Dazzling Gleam. Like, even if he goes to Azu, he won't do any damage to me. So you'd have to Aqua Jet. Oh no. Not Thunderbolt here. You don't want him because he gets some Aqua Jet damage off. What? That came close. I thought this was like a 0% chance. Oh, that was risky. He doubles to Drago. Um, that obviously didn't work out. He's probably choiced. Either way, Hyper Beam. Either way, whether he hit the Hyper Beam or not, I'd just be able to roost and the game was over. Um, I'd be able to roost or just kill him. Just just kill him. What am I roosting about? I just kill him, and then Rillaboom obviously wins from there. I guess I could have been a bit more cautious with my Coco because there is the off chance that the Azu is Sap Sipper. So I don't know with a screens team why you would be, but that's actually something I didn't consider until that moment just now. So um, I don't know. Uh, we'll grab one more since I actually managed to record before 6 today. I mean before 8. So it's 6:49. I started recording around 6 something. Aren't y'all proud? So these big changes going into play. Because like I said, I enjoy battling. It's just for time's sake. Um, Sometimes I just can't. But now I'm, you know, you know. I'll tell y'all later. I was gonna say something, but I'll tell y'all as I get more data. Let's just say that. But let's just say I freed up some space recently as far as my time and attention. So That's something that's not on my mind. Not in a negative way. It's good times, but I'm in grind season right now, so I need all the focus I can have. I have the Corv or Moltres or Hazard. This is a tricky game. My Blaziken is a huge problem. Huge problem after Restore's Dance. Um, obviously, Zazu destroys it. His Blissey Walls a lot. I need his Corv gone and then my Predator. This is a very dangerous Pokemon to this team. Uh, question is, how am I going to go about these hazards? So one thing I know he'll never, should ever lead with is that Diggersby. And Coco or Lissy and Coco are from a phenomenal position. I guess Polt does make the most sense no matter what the case is. So I wanted to start with my Coco there. And more so anticipated in the Moltres. Yeah, I'll start Azu, which I should have considered. I mean, Azu is not great versus Skarm. So unless he just doesn't know that the Skarm leads, so obviously he's just gonna stay and he seems like he just doesn't know any better. So he knocks and he's left. So he's sap sipping. Okay, that's fine. Whirlpool, Perish. Sap sipping is actually really good for Blaziken. I could sweep him here. So Encore. So obviously now he's gonna switch to his Defogger. But my Skarm is still relatively healthy. Okay, so that's good information to know. Encore, knockoff, Whirlpool, probably. Mine used to run Protect, used to. Protect with the Perish on. Encore makes sense too. Just like the ability to protect. Obviously to control the song turns when you trap. So what this allows, if he leaves it in, is for me to go to Coco. And Coco obviously controls what can come in and out. So if Coco comes in, I can U-turn. So he decides to leave it, and he's sacrificing Azu to give me all layers, which is dangerous. It's very dangerous. Like Blaziken, quite literally, with just Thunder Punch and CC, which is the beauty. I don't want to blitz. I'd rather Thunder Punch and CC. And also, Encore might wear out soon. No. Okay, so he's giving up the Azu. So this allows me to go to Coco. And obviously your initial switch would have to be Diggersby. I don't guard well against that thing, so let me think. If I Thunderboy and he goes Blissey. If he leaves it in, I can just always go to my Dragapult. So I'm not overly concerned about him staying in. But I'm also thinking, am I concerned about him switching? His options are Blissey and my only thing is if he goes to the Blissey, I have to position myself to where the Corviknight can't do what it wants. If I go to Blissey, he goes to Blissey, I'd U-turn out into. Nah, I'm just U-turning now. Something in my soul told me to leave this in. I was like, he's just gonna leave the Azu in. Very well. I'll do what I can. Again, lower ladder, but I don't regret it. I just need to know what, because I know if I went this route, I didn't lose that much value. Like I get toxic or I got knocked, whatever. I didn't know what his other move was, so it doesn't even have Perishong. I actually didn't think it had anything other than knockout. So I'll U-turn. Why would I? I'm tripping. Why would I? It doesn't have protect. So he's gonna knock here. Yeah. I just Thunderbolt now. Oh, he goes. This guy's a beast. I don't mind Diggersby coming in. Blissey was the issue. Because I can go Rillaboom on this and U-turn out. Ice Punch. Interesting. So this, unless he's Helmet Corv, this allows me to go Corv. He's definitely leaving this shit in. It might be Spadef and Live. Nah, okay, that's his defogger, I'm pretty sure. The Diggersby obviously gets blown away. I've confirmed I'm faster than you. I wonder what his item was. Could have been Scarf. He's just, I think, adamant Scarf. So Blissey is heavy duty boost, which is what I figured. I want to be very careful around this thing. But now I don't even need the Swords Dance. So I'll just U-turn out into the really Manili. 9 knock punishes Moltres. Well, actually, this could be the defogger too. Why the fuck did I? But as I said, I don't even necessarily need defog anymore. At this point, it's nice. So Scorching Sands. Um, we attack all things at this point, like we've learned from this guy. He has wish support. You want to roost because this is our Azu answers. These seismic tosses. Wish may have toxic. Even if he does, I'll be alright. So he wishes to the fishes because he has to fit. I'm guessing either protector softball and teleport. It depends. It depends. I don't know what he has. But again, he's also super weak to my Scolipede at this point as well. So okay, so when Azu is the Coco counter. Hmm. My terrain wears off here, as you guys know. I could Swords Dance with Blaze and win now, but I don't. Blaze wins too easily for me to impatiently go that route. So I'm actually just gonna go to my Gyro. I know he's gonna stay in. We'll spec Shadow Ball. I don't need Rilla, but I also don't need the pull. Again, especially because I knocked his out. So it's gonna hurt. It's not gonna hurt as much as it could hurt, but it's gonna hurt. And there goes the Blissey, and now the Destroyer. I could Swords Dance, but there's just literally no need. Not with the you can't. Wow, that crit mattered. No, it mattered in that it killed him, but at this point, Young Blaze is just gonna do light it up. Um, Gotta be careful down here, man. Still formulate your game plans. Again, most players aren't gonna be the biggest issue, but you get slipped up on a random loss here or there, because particularly if you're using offense, is one of the times where you actually do leave yourself vulnerable to a situation where skill isn't the biggest factor. Because I don't think skill is what wins all games. I'm not talking about hacks. There are situations where your opponent's incompetence will actually pay off. And that has happened plenty of time in my case. And I'm not even saying me being the victim of that. I mean, like, I'm new to a tier and I can see a player recognizing my name and like, okay, Jam's gonna expect this, but I haven't even played the metagame or even know you. And my play was actually not the good one because I don't know, maybe fucking Scarf Diggersby's all over the ladder and they expect me to know that and scout for it because I'm risking a big win con and I'm like, Scarf Diggersby's the last thing on my mind. So I actually make an inoptimal play, stay in, risking the entire game, and it actually pays off for me. So you'd look like, oh, well, that was just a great play. Well, based on metagame trends and knowledge and all that, that actually probably wasn't a good one. It's my own ignorance that made it good. In terms, not good, made it work. Work and good play are two different things. So similarly, I think, and again, as I'm reflecting on that game, I think he may have just came back for OLT, and we're both just coming back. So we're both sort of like, I don't know what to expect here, and we were just kind of just dilly dallying around, and I was on the losing end of that dilly dallying. So prepare to see a lot of other competent players as we beat them and have a good time. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.